afternoon. Today is April the 7th, 2019. This is TJ with an update of my spring garden. Over here we've got a little bit of everything planted in here. As you know, we started out with some spring onions, some white onions, some red onions, some spring onions that my son propagated in the house. I mean, they've kind of grown a little bit. They're rejuvenating, but they pretty much have been stagnant for a couple of weeks. Got some basil in there, got some leeks in there, and I've been intermingling some tomatoes. Let's see, we got for tomatoes, looks like we got a Rutgers tomato in there. We got a Cherokee purple tomato in there, a couple of them. And over here we got Georgia sweet red onion, a Vidalia onion, green onions, garlic, and leeks. And they're not doing too bad. Looks like the tomatoes are finally took root because they're starting to grow now. And we've had a couple of days of rain. And so they're starting to really grow now. I did put some basil in there I bought at the nursery last week. I decided not to put it in the ground because, don't know why, I just decided not to put it in the ground. I put it in those little pots there. More so because I can move them around. Just in case this bed gets a little too crowded. But I've kind of dedicated this bed to my son. So I told him, this is yours. You do what you want to do with it. And so he's got a little bit of everything going on in there. I don't believe it'll be a problem. But if it's a problem, it's his problem, not mine. Back here looks like my blueberries have finally came back to life. So I'm going to start putting some, I got some bird netting that I'm going to put over that. Because every year the birds end up eating the blueberries. So this year we're going to see about going ahead on and putting some netting over it. And hopefully we won't have that issue this year. Over here, we got a few things going on. I've got some stuff that I got to get planted. Over here, I decided I'm going to put some sweet peppers. So I went to, I think it was Home Depot. Got some yellow sweet peppers. Got some yellow sweet peppers and some red, what they call a red Cajun bell pepper. So that's going to be these two pallets here. And then back here, this cauliflower is just really and truly taking off. And I've been looking it up online to see if these leaves are edible. And they say they're edible. Not sure. I've never had cauliflower leaves before. I've never had broccoli leaves before. But they're supposed to be edible. So I'm going to look up online to see some recipes on what I can do with these leaves. Because I did find out that because this is what I call the big head lettuce. Lieutenant broccoli is just going to grow a head and it's done. I did find that out yesterday when I was online researching that. So I am going to see what I can do with those leaves. And then over here, we've got Brussels sprouts. Those are growing pretty handily there. That started to take off now. Back here, we've got some Black Beauty eggplant. I bought this on the side of the road down in Hawthorne, Florida. Lady and her grandson on the side of the road selling seedlings. And those things are just really starting to take off now. And over here we've got, what is this? This is stir-fry broccoli. And look at here. Those little heads are just growing like crazy. We've got heads on just about every one of them. So eventually here soon my wife will be picking her some stir-fry broccoli, I guess for her salads and stuff. And this was planted on April the 26th. So we're a little over a month and about a month and a half into this, and it's really growing. Back here we've got this lacinato kale, or dinosaur kale as my son calls it. And all of this stuff is pretty much ready to be harvested. It looks like that was planted on the 26th of February as well, along with these collard greens. They were planted on the 26th. So I'm going to be harvesting some of these collard greens, and I am going to be harvesting this kale because I don't want to lose any of it, because look at it starting to curl up on me there. So I'm going to go ahead and probably harvest that today. And back here is some classic eggplant that I bought from the nursery and planted that last week. And look at it now. It has just literally taken off. And that's a week's worth of growth there. And over here we've got my rainbow beets. And I only grew these for the leaves. Even though it says that, I don't know at what point I can pick the leaves, but I think I'm gonna start researching that to see if I can start clipping some of those leaves. And over here we got graffiti cauliflower. It doesn't have any heads yet, but it's got lots of leaves. And back there we've got some Swiss chard, and those leaves are pretty much ready to be harvested now. So I'm gonna start picking some of these leaves. So probably the next time you see this video, you're gonna say, what the heck happened in his garden? Well, that's me harvesting some stuff. And over here we've got pink girl. Never heard of a pink girl. Looked it up online. It says I guess it's supposed to be more like, the nursery told me it's gonna be more like a what's that thing called, an early girl. So I got 4 of those I got to get planted. And I also have a black crim. I like the black crim. Well, I don't like it. My wife likes the black crim. So I did get one of those for her. And I'm still waiting on my other nursery to come out with their tomatoes, which won't be ready until May 1st, which is quite a long ways off. Everybody else has pretty much gotten their veggie plants out and for sale now for, well, as you can see, since February. Well, this particular nursery that I go to, they grow a lot of stuff that nobody else has. So that's where I get all of my weird varieties of tomatoes. I just like growing them. They got all the weird varieties of hot peppers and sweet peppers that nobody else sells. And so I'm going to be, if I'm home still, then yes, I will be getting some of that from the nursery. Don't know where I'm going to put it at yet, because as you can see, my garden is pretty much done. All I got left is that pallet there. And so I'm gonna have to find someplace else to put some more buckets, because I really want to get me, I still need to get the zucchini squash and yellow crookneck squash. And hopefully by the time May or June hits, this cauliflower will be done and that broccoli will be done. And I can go ahead and get my okra planted, because that my wife absolutely enjoys. And I've got a couple of my neighbors that have asked for some okra this year. So I'll be supplying that to them as well. So this is TJ with an update of my spring garden. As you can see, it's really doing well. And hopefully in about 2 weeks, we'll be shooting another video and showing you what I've harvested and what else has came in. That's going to be all for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.